of the view that it offered something to the country. To be fair, we have been asking the PNP to show us the roadmap that they have for Jamaica's development. And they've put it on the table. I see commentators like Cliff Hughes suggesting that, there is some substance there. The challenge with the manifesto is that it does not distinguish itself from the government. It is not original, nor is it substantially different from what currently exists. And in that regard, the PNP will have a problem. When you go across the country, when you talk to people, no one is talking about the PNP's manifesto. And it did not have the type of awe effect that a manifesto would need in the current political environment, bearing in mind that the People's National Party is behind. They may not want to accept that, but that is a fact. The PNP is behind, and so the PNP need a fillip to propel them into the race and to be competitive. With all the noise that the People's National Party is now making, they are not competing. They are not competing because they are competing within the confines of themselves. In other words, they are not speaking to the broad demographics of people in Jamaica. And that is part of the problem the PNP has. And when you read the PNP's manifesto, you do not see there anything that differentiates them. There is no substantial difference between what the People's National Party is offering and what the Jamaica Labour Party is now doing. Remember, listeners, that voter sentiments are not against the government. I want to repeat that. Voter sentiments are not against the government. One would have thought that a government going into an election seeking a third consecutive term would be largely unpopular. This is not an unpopular government. As a matter of fact, the government is more popular than the opposition. The crowd that the opposition is able to draw, that's the PNP. They don't have anything else. You understand? They don't really have anything else. The positive for the government is that a number of people who will be voting for the government do not go to the government's meetings. The broad cross-section of support that the Labour Party has, I think, gives them a distinct advantage. And so, unlike others, I do not rate the PNP's manifesto very highly. And I was waiting for this document. So I had an interest in it, and I'm not impressed by what they have delivered. Today, my understanding is that the Labour Party has dismissed it as a chat GP manifesto. It's almost as if the PNP punched in some ideas into technology and it was delivered. You know what would be interesting is to talk to a member of the PNP on this document, to quiz them on it, and to see how au fait they are with the material presented. Yeah, the pillars are there, but at this time, we need more than pillars to vote on. All right, copy and paste from chat GPT. Caroline. Oh, hi, Caroline. How you doing? I didn't even realize that you were on Fantastic. There are 10 pillars. All right, so let's go to the notes. We have Casey at 7 o'clock. You can't afford to miss that. Casey comes on at 7 o'clock, and we are going to look at the probable win for the People's National Party. Is or can the People's National Party win the election? We're going to explore the probability, both for themselves as well as for the Jamaica Labour Party. Claudette Graham, good evening to you. Thank you for tuning in. PNP, not cutting no dash with that glitzy manifesto. The manifesto is a manifest. It has not delivered for the PNP at all. No, it has not delivered for the PNP. You have to go wheel and come again. Yep, you have to go wheel and come again. Do you want me to discuss the manifesto? Claudette, you really want me to discuss the manifesto? Do you want me to pick this manifesto apart properly for you? All right, I will do it, you know. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. Since as you are testing, because I didn't know my friends tell me that I'm not to be too hard on the People's National Party because you know, they don't want me to be too hard on the yeah. By the way, I think Golding, Mark, is becoming a liability to the party. Mark Golding becoming a bit of a liability. I could take a little time and tell you why. Listen to Mark Golding in his preamble. This is what he said. He said the benefits of national development have not reached far enough. Listen to Mark Golding. Interior roads in every parish are in a deplorable condition. Many communities, said Golding, do not have access to water in their homes. Urban blight and decay plague our cities, while rural Jamaica has been left behind. Farm roads are impassable. Irrigation is inadequate and outdated, and farmers lack the tools, machinery, and support system to produce and prosper. Mark says, this manifesto is our plan for a new chapter built on our vision, Jamaica Love. It stands on 10 pillars: justice for all, access to quality education, modern infrastructure, agriculture and food security, innovation and industry, care for the vulnerable, accountability in governance, land, and he goes on. Mr. Golding, are you serious? Sir? Are you serious? Because this doesn't sound like a man who lived in Jamaica and was a part of an administration. The last PNP administration, Mr. Golding, were you a part of that administration? You're just putting together some words. You're just writing. You're not making much sense here. Because it tells me that you're out of touch. Because, you know, the ills of this society cannot be laid at the feet of Andrew Holness, you know. We're not go with that. Yes. The ills of the society, the urban blight that you speak of, don't start me up. Don't get me started. You know what is the cause of it, sir? Urban blight. You're a lawyer. You're a bright man. Be real. If you really want people to support you, be real, sir. Roads are in deplorable condition. So who's to be blamed for that? Are you saying that this government is to accept the blame for the ills of the society? Quite frankly and truthfully, this government appears to be on a repair job. Because the PNP has been reckless, sir. They have been reckless in governance and government. They have done irreparable damage. So don't come talk about deplorable road condition. We heard at one time that Jamaica would have been pothole free in 2003. You remember that? And the party that you are leading, sir, that same party is responsible for the greatest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich. Don't talk about development. Don't do it. Because whatever inadequacy you speak about can be laid squarely at the feet of the People's National Party. Whatever inadequacy the society has and is suffering today, whatever those inadequacies are, and there are inadequacies, but who is to be blamed for it? Wholeness? Jamaica love. Jamaica love. The PNP needs to be held accountable. That's my view. And they have not been sufficiently held accountable for their mismanagement. You don't want to tell us about people don't have access to water. Don't come tell us that. Anyway, I never wanted to even touch that, because I'm putting those notes together and I don't done with them yet. So we have less than 3 weeks to go. Alibaba, I'll take on the PNP's manifesto at another time, and I'm sure that you'll find it very interesting. But I didn't want to take it on. It's just because you come over here, come, I don't want to take it. I want to leave it alone. Yes. I want to leave it alone. I don't want to trouble it at all. What I want you to do is to tell me what I've said that is not true. Don't tell me about bias. I mean, in a bias. I don't deal with bias and balance. I deal with facts. Right? If you can point out anything I have said here that is not true, then we can have a conversation. If you can't do that, then be quiet. Be quiet. Stay in the class and be quiet. Alibaba. All right. Okay. Fact of the matter is that the ills of the Jamaican society cannot be laid at the feet of this government. Cannot be laid. The bad roads that we are having in Jamaica, and a wholeness caused them, Yes. If irrigation in Jamaica is inadequate, it's not Holness' fault, you know. Right? You see that 18 and a half years? Anyway, listen to me. We suck salt through the spoon here, you know. And we know the facts. Jamaica was allowed to grind to a place where it's going to take us decades to come out of. Not 9 years. And I don't hold any beef for anybody, you know. On the 3rd of September, the Jamaican people will go out, and I will not tell one man who is to vote for. It is his choice. They will go out to the polls, and they will cast their ballots for whomever and wherever they want to cast it. That is their business. They will have to live with the consequences. They will have to live with those consequences. That's what democracy is about. But I'm telling you that the 18 and a half years were years that the governance of Jamaica was not done well. Inflation reached 70% in 1 year. Crime was at 1,700 1 year. You don't fix a society that is broken in 9 years. You cannot do it. Because what you have formed are habits. Habits of nature, of nurturing. And those aren't fixed in 9 years. You don't fix a dilapidated health system in 9 years. And on top of that, an economy that is in decline. Don't tell me nonsense and foolishness. It's not done like that. You first of all have to set out to address the debt. Because if the country is indebted, how are you going to pay for these things? You can't even get money to borrow. It's not fixed like that. So by the time you stabilize the economy, the macro economy, start to pay down your debt, one term done. By the time you start seeing a little progress, 2 terms are over. And the message has not been told properly, you know. The story of Jamaica is not being told, you know. You see all these people heading out to the polls, they are not informed. They are not informed properly. They are misinformed. And this is not partisan. Because I am not a JLP man. I'm not a PNP man. Nobody can put me in no barrel. No political thing. You not deal with that. But I'm telling you that the story, not even the Labour Party is telling the story properly. Because they are competing against the PNP. They shouldn't be competing against the PNP, you know. The Labour Party should not be competing in this election against the PNP. Tell the story. Tell the story. Don't give people the impression that you must accept responsibility. And so you go. If you marry a girl that she wasn't a virgin, she can't she can't blame. You see what I'm saying to you? And then you do it. So you can't blame for that. And some of the things that they are blaming the government for, and then the government do it. You get an old bus to run on a road. What you expect? Huh? You have to put the bus in the garage, sort out the engine, it has smoke at the back. You see them tear up, can't climb the hill. You have to give it a overall, spray it and make it look good. By the time you're done with that, your term almost done. The Labour Party shouldn't be competing against the PNP right now. This is because they haven't told the story. They haven't told the story. The fact of the matter is that the patient Jamaica was wounded, economically wounded, socially wounded, psychologically wounded. The country was wounded. And one could have vexed a little bit. I'm going to tell you the truth. One could have vexed a little bit. The country was wounded and bleeding. I tell my listeners, I haven't even gone to the notes yet. It's, what time is it? 25 minutes after to 7 o'clock. KC comes at 7 o'clock. I tell my listeners, 30,000 people died here in Jamaica for the last two decades. 30,000. Right? 30,000 people. This is a country in mourning. We're not fighting any civil war. And that was our state because of what? The striking economy was bad. I told you the other day why these boys are on the street wiping car glasses. And what is the cause of that? The whole matter of existentialism. Yes. The social contract theory is a failure of the state. It's a failure of the state. While people had to be on the street selling bag juice, and our girls had to be selling themselves. You think prostitution is a natural thing? Well, yeah, some choose to live like that. But you know how many girls have had to, I went and spoke to some the other night. Yes, prostitutes. I talked to them. Why are you here? And then it becomes a behavior. It becomes a habit. They can't come out of it. It's a wounded society. And nobody think that it is fixed. No, fix it. But to be fair, you people listening to me, to be fair, crime is down, going down. My understanding is that almost 45%. That's 300 people, almost, 300 people that are alive in Jamaica today that had the government not invested in the security forces, grew the economy, would have been dead. Let that sink in. I come over here and tell me foolishness. Yeah. My understanding is that 300,000 new jobs have been created. Be fair, man. Be fair. So if 300,000 new jobs were created, you're going to tell me, say, when this government took office, are so much people naina work? Are so much people naina work in Jamaica? Jesus Christ. Yeah. If they created 300,000 new jobs, then are so much people naina work. Labour Party, you have not told the story. You see, this narrative is not framed well. And our people are not making decisions based on the story. The story is that this society was wounded, broken, and required a steady hand and time. A patient that is sick don't just get better so. And this society, this nation called Jamaica, was a sick society. And everywhere in Jamaica you went, 15, 16 years ago, you could see the brokenness, the wounds on our people's face, the hopelessness in our society. And if it's one thing I commend Wholeness for, is that he has begun the process of restoring hope to Jamaicans. Hope to Jamaicans. Congratulations, sir. I could spend half an hour and tell you about the power of hope. The power of hope. Do you know what hope is for a person? Do you know what hope is? Hope causes that young girl to close her legs. All right? Gives her independence. Hope drives you forward. It takes you out of crime. It wakes you up in the mornings. It gives you an aspiration. It causes you to save. Hope does that. It takes you out of crime. It tells you put down the gun and stop dig out your hand. Hope does that. A hopeless society is a society riddled with social upheavals and conditions that leads to crime and violence and sexually irresponsible behavior. Because when people don't have nothing to do, then just stand in the yard and a word came to my mind. Then just stand in the yard and sex becomes a stress release. So release the stress and just sex. And what is the result of that? Children born into the society. The research is there to show that. But when you have hope, you plan your family. You get on, birth controls, because you see a brighter future. Unemployment in Jamaica is 3.2%. I know me say so. I know me say so at all. Don't blame me. I don't put out them figures here. This is what I'm just reporting. What is there? So then, oh well. Well, there's a nice little song. There's a nice little song coming out of the national arena. They want me to play it. I'll listen to it. Well, I won't play any more of that just yet. Okay, let's go back up here. All right. It's 17 minutes to you believe that? Just. All right. So the voter turnout has been declining. There is some suggestion that let me see who is here. We have a few more things to talk to you about, but let me see if the listeners are here. So there are some suggestions that this election could see record voter turnout. Let's see. There are 3 issues that are driving voter turnout based on how I see it. 3. And they are governance and leadership, economic performance, crime, and security. These are the three policy issues. Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am. Policy issues that will drive voter turnout. This now is where the election is going to be won. You have party allegiance versus issue-based voting. You know, so they are the diehards. But then there are some people who prioritize governance, leadership, and economic performance to make up their mind who they are going to vote for. You see the book that the Labour Party put out? There are going to be some surprises in this election. There are some people in Jamaica that are concerned about the quality of governance, the quality of leadership, and the economic performance of Jamaica. The economy, job opportunities are significant concerns for many people because they want tangible improvements in their standard of living. And the whole matter of crime and security, high crime rates and security issues are pressing concerns for many Jamaicans, influencing their voting decisions. The people who are issue voters, those are the three things that they are largely going to be looking at to determine whether or not they vote. Let's see if we can take a couple callers before we go to the forecast. Good evening to you, sir. Hello. All right. Hello, sir. Hello, Kirk. Good evening, Kirk. No. Hello. Well, he's not ready yet. I guess he doesn't even realize that he's up in the box. So they are over here. So they are over here. All right. Let me see if John is there. Good evening, John. Hello, sir. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
How are you doing? How are you doing, neighbor?
I'm all right, sir.
You're all right. All right. Looking well. We have just wanted to touch in and talk about what the aspect of the JLP's response to the manifesto today and your thoughts.
My thoughts?
Yeah.
Well, I prefer not to comment on that just yet. I'm preparing a whole thing on that.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. That was my 2 cents. I know. I'll just,
Well, stay,
I'll just listen.
stay tuned. I'll respond to that in another.
Okay.
In another.
All right, no problem.
All right. Dread? Dread?
Good evening, neighbor.
Yes. Hi.
Yes, good evening. Yes, so I just want to highlight that in response to that comment that you just made, we know that the division along the political lines is what our culture has embraced for many years. And in my opinion,
Not embrace. No, not
it should be
embrace.
along the lines of issues.
Not
And
embrace.
issues should not embrace. Well, not embraced, but it's predominant. For the most part, it seems as if diehard party supporters are diehard supporters because of that mentality. You know, Jamaicans who aren't involved are on the sideline because of that particular culture. So where the issues are, if they should even think to vote, you know, it's not that the opportunity is there to vote against issues.
No, sir. Let me
You
tell.
know,
Let me.
and
Let me.
I think
Hold
here
on,
is
sir.
where
Hold
we
on,
would
no,
have
sir.
better turnout of the
You listen.
the persons who don't vote if
Are you hearing
persons
me?
were able to clearly vote
Are you hearing me,
against
sir?
against
Are you hearing me,
issues
sir?
that they think they deem important.
Are you hearing me, sir?
Yes.
Are
Yes.
you hearing me, sir?
Yeah. Am I breaking up on your end?
No, sir. I just wanted to listen to you. Sir.
Oh,
Are you listening? Hello, sir. God, I want this for me. Sir? Sir? Dread? Hello, sir. Hello?
hello.
Sir, if you are going to participate on the program, you can't do this, you know. We don't have time to. Where are you gone?
No, I'm here. I'm here. I think it's the signal dropping where I'm standing.
You know, get better signal, man, and if we go through.
No, it's the work Wi-Fi, so I come off it and on my data now. So I'm hearing you clearly now.
Oh, so you disconnect one that Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I'm just using straight data.
Are you in Jamaica?
I am.
Okay. Sir, when governments, you see, do not serve the interests of the people, then the people do not see the need or the necessity to support government. Do you understand?
Yes.
Voting suggests for many people that they accept that the government is working on their behalf.
Accepted.
We in Jamaica, sir, have not, over the years, our governments have not done that. And it has turned away and turned off a lot of people, especially during that 18 and a half years of PNP government. Okay, sir? When governments, by the way, you know what is the definition of government, sir? Why government exists?
For leadership of a country.
Well, that is broad. That is a broad definition, yes. But we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights. Among them, the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And that it is to secure these rights why governments exist. So why do governments exist, sir?
so that we can express these.
Among them, the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So government exists to secure the rights of the citizens. You see the whole matter of justice, sir? A just society. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I am.
Yes. And that and then to preserve life. In other words, sir, you must live in a country that is safe. 30,000 people were killed unalived in Jamaica in the last 20 years, you know, sir. That is a failure of the state. That's a failure of government. That is a failed state, sir. And then to pursue happiness. How can you pursue happiness when you don't have a job? When the social fabric of the society is torn. How do you do that? How do you pursue happiness when you can't take out a mortgage? You see? And you expect people to go to vote? It's not partisanship, sir. It's how we have operated. Go ahead, sir.
And I think that's and the initial statement that you raised about voting against policies for the growth of our country. I'm not sure if it's which independent body we can embrace, because we're so steeped into the two primary parties that we can listen to a reason of not division.
Would you vote against this government? Would you vote against this government? Would you vote against it?
Vote against the Jamaica Labour Party on the basis of what they have done, on the basis of what operates in my constituency, or on the basis of
you know, sir, answer the question. Would you vote against the government?
On the basis of what they have done? No, I wouldn't.
Are you planning to vote?
Do we vote on the do we vote on the basis of policies, or on the basis of what our constituents or representatives in our communities do? How do we operate in terms of voting in the country?
Are you planning to vote?
No, I'm not planning to vote.
Then why are you here?
To express that the policies that are put forward against the point that you made earlier, that we vote well in the deliberation, in the expression you made against voting against policies as opposed to party line. I'm saying that I'm of the view that we should vote against policies. I live in Jamaica.
Yes, sir.
I've lived in Jamaica. I've lived in Jamaica for 40 years, and let me tell you this: I've lived in a country where both parents, my mother is from a PNP background, and my father is from a JLP background.
No, sir.
And in growing,
you can't listen.
No, but I'm making a point, and I'm saying that it's not their point of view was never against policies. It was based on their group, one side growing PNP, one side going JLP. I coming to understanding it's from an objective point of view. I have formed my opinion that it is not. It shouldn't be against because I was JLP or because I was PNP, which for the most part it seems as if that is what people do.
Do you see the government?
Are you against that?
Don't ask me what I'm against. Do you see the government acting in representing the people of Jamaica well. Do you think the government is?
I do think they are acting in the interest of the the
And
country.
but yet you don't intend to vote for them.
No, I don't intend to vote for them.
And you don't intend to vote for the PNP either.
No, I don't intend to vote for the PNP either.
Do you have a vote?
I do have a vote.
Okay. Want to wish you a good afternoon, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling. Mr. Next caller, good afternoon to you. Good evening.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Wasn't that going, sir?
Well, I'm looking forward to the next hour or so.
So I've seen a complaint going around by, I would say, more leaning to the PNP side, right? About the increase in police killing. So I would like to ask a question on that, right? It falls under the topic that you just were touching. Do you expect murders to be on the decline, but not an increase in police killing? Do you think you could find a correlation between the two? Because
Yes.
in order to fix one, to make
No.
one go down, don't you think one have to go up?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir. The fact of the matter is that violence, bequeathed violence, and the society, if you study the violence in Jamaica, you know, so you'll realize that some of it is domestic violence too, you know.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying to you? Some of it is domestic violence. A lot of it is, you know, it's a very technical thing, sir. But you, we don't agree that for unaliving to the unaliving of persons going down means that the state, which is the police, must carry out. Well, no, sir.
All right. So have you ever heard a news where someone is out on bail for shooting with intent for unaliving, and they're in confrontation with the police again about the same matter?
Remember, you know, sir, that one of the cause of the reduction in crime is the opportunities in the society, you know.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? So then there is going to be a natural reduction, even if the government did not invest as much as it did in the security forces. Just the fact that they are creating opportunities for young people, especially young men, suggests that they have alternatives to crime. Because you see this crime thing, sir, it's a calculated risk that a lot of young men take. I don't remember if I could find it, I would tell you. It's a calculated risk that young men take, you know. And a lot of times it is where they do not have opportunities for earning.
I remember you talking on that topic. I was there.
Yes, so right. So then they see crime as an economic way, a way of earning economically. They're not scamming. You see what I'm saying to you, and all of that.
The next thing I want to touch on, right? Remember when you had Damian Crawford on the platform?
A long time ago.
Yes. You remember what he always say about go to ChatGPT and ask.
Yes.
And the comment section was spamming, why this man that is in government for so long is resorting to ChatGPT for every information that he's asking about or he's gonna tell us. So me being on the internet today and hear them talking about the PNP manifesto seems like a ChatGPT created it. Everything came back and said
wonder if it is that's the reason why the America for those on here talking about chat UTP, chat UTP, chat. Do you think that is what some of them used to get some of the points? Hence why they are so closely related to the points now that is under the Jamaica Labour Party. I see something there about biometrics and ID, and I was like, isn't that new that they take the government to court for?
Yeah. Well, you know, sir, the technology is available. I do a lot of research, and I have relied on the internet to help me figure things out. I don't know. Uh-huh.
But they should have all the information they need to put in their manifesto. I don't think they should have relied on that. I don't.
Did they rely on it? Did they rely on it, sir?
It is obvious, sir. It is obvious. Never. If you're going to say like the PNP is the party of ideas, and you're not going to put out the manifesto because JLP are going to tease it. But yet still, I'm not going to say all. Some of the stuff in there are the exact same thing that is happening now or happened before.
Yes. Yes. Well, as I said, wait. Anyway, hold on, sir. Prime Global, go ahead.
Good evening, neighbor. I listened to you. I was elsewhere, and I want to ask a question. I have a vote. Help me to choose, but nobody took me up on the offer. I would have heard you interviewing that gentleman before me, not this gentleman here, the other one. I find it strange that somebody who it's like you're looking at the sky and saying the sky is pink. For all that is happening around you, and I'm not really batting so much for the government per se, but you give to Caesar what is due to Caesar. And for all that they see, I know where my vote is going. I'm not going to say that openly, but you should be able to, and it's best when you cast a vote, because without a vote, then don't bother to make up nice if when the time comes when you know you're asked, persons are agitated about something, you really are going to be drawn out because you didn't cast a vote. Once you pay taxes, go out and vote. There are options. Yes. There are clear options.
Yes, sir.
Because I was referring to the Prime Minister's speech. He says, I don't remember. He mentioned some things which was a pitch towards tertiary students as it relates to financing student loan. I think there was a reduction in the interest rate or something to that effect. And there are some other things. And they have the achievement booklet that they can use. Now, here's the thing that I do not like. When you are in this country and you point out certain positive, because they are negative, they are things that are not necessarily going the way that they ought to. But I for my own peace of mind, I tend to focus on the positive. People who are going to brand you and they're going to call you all sorts of name and all that type of thing. I made a choice, and the choice I made is to place I decided that I'm going to vote and where I want to place my exit. Now, on TikTok here, if you patronize, say, for instance, the JLP bloggers, the other side of people, if you happen to go on the internet or you happen to go on a platform, they're going to say, oh, he's a Labour. I'm not a Labour, I'm a Jamaican. I am a Jamaican. I support the policies of a particular party. Yes, and I may or may not vote for them if I choose to vote. You follow what I'm saying? And that is my right.
Yes.
So I think it's only fair if If the government is doing, and
What I would want to ask listeners is, why would you vote against this government? Why would you not support them? I'd love to have that question answered. Why would you cast a vote against? I'm not talking about the tribals. I'm not talking about those persons who will vote for PNP even when they burn their house down. I'm speaking about the unbiased people. Why would you vote against the government? If there is anyone online that falls within that category and wants to join me, I'd love to have you. Why? Why would you not support this government? Not talking about comrades or comrades, those who are unbiased. Why?
It's interesting to hear some of what they have to say, but they are tough.
Yeah, it would be interesting. Caller, hold on, Prime. Caller, online there. I don't see a name. How are you doing? Hello? Hello?
They don't have a name, they just have some
Emoji. Hello?
yes, some emoji.
Hello? Well, we're in that. Let's see
Oh,
who
that's what the person said, yeah.
is in the box. Let's see who
Kimmy
is in
wants
the
to come up. Kimmy wants to come up.
Yeah, but there's a line. There's a line we're working with. We're coming up. We're coming up, Kim. There are some people here before. Good evening. Hello. 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 Hello, music. Well, you're not there. Okay. Let's see who else we have. Coming up. We're coming up. All right. Scarlett, you're next. And that's it. Hello? Hello? Hello?
And the their late night is noodles again. They make them. Yeah, well, I get that.
Good evening to you. Good evening. Good evening.
They don't know that they're in the back.
Well, I tell you, wow. These people don't know that they're up here. Charlene Graham, you're coming up now. The box is up. There are about 20 people in there trying to get up here. I don't know what's happening to them. Hello, Charlene. Hello, Jasmine Minot. Hello, Charlene. Oh, all right. Disconnect that, please. Okay. Wow. The line is full, but the people are not talking. We have 3 more to go before you, Kimmy. We'll clear them and come to you. Full eyes, fuller eyes. Having internet challenges across the neighborhood. Good evening to you, ma'am. Hello. Hello. Uh-oh. Terrible. Oh boy. All right. Kimmy, let's go. We know we're going to hear from Kimmy. Go ahead, Kimmy.
First, I want to say always big up yourself for your program every evening. Very informative as always. But I want to ask you a question, sir, because I had to come ask you this question. So that is what I was supposed to wait 5 years to read. That is what I should use my time